I think the motorhome is a lemon. I think it has a lot of problems. I know it has a lot of problems. I cannot get out of the city without finding another problem, and it affects my life. Uh, I don't trust it to go anywhere in it. Currently, I'm parked in an RV park in Las Vegas, and honestly, I'm going to stay here until until spring. When the parts come in, I'm going to take it over and have the parts installed, and we'll just go from there. I bought it new in February of 2018, and it's just overwhelmed and consumed my life. It's always a problem. Every day, it's something different. I can't get out of sight of the city without something breaking down. Uh, I'm really fed up with it. It's been to the dealer right now 3 or 4 times, and it's got to go back again. I'm waiting for parts. Uh, I think the dealer and the manufacturer, Jayco, is getting pretty tired of me. So I've prepared a list of things. There's probably 50 items, but I can make a short story out of it. So I'm going to give you the major items that has gone wrong with the motorhome, that is taken the motorhome out of my life and into the dealer's life. They have to deal with it. So I'll start with the big stuff. First of all, the biggest thing was the shower enclosure. It was not square. It when you use the shower, the water would leak out of it onto the floor. It took me a while to figure out where this water was coming from. I mean, I knew it was coming from the shower, but I didn't know how it got there. But I measured the shower stall. It was not square, and the shower door would not close. So there was about a half, maybe 5/8 of an inch where the rear shower door would leak water onto the floor. So I took it into the dealer with a list of many other items, and they worked on the shower. I went and picked it up when they were all done. This took several weeks. I hope that's accurate, several weeks. Maybe 2 weeks. I used the shower. Well, it was not right. It still leaked water onto the floor. So I called the service director. I explained my situation to him. He says, "All right, bring it back." And I did. I brought it back. And this time they got it right. The shower stall was square. There was no leakage. I asked him, how did you fix that? And he said, "Well, we had to move the wall. The rear wall of the shower stall had to be moved. And to make a long story short, they fixed it." So I used the shower, and it didn't leak. But now I got a crack. Now there's a crack in the shower bottom, the base. And now we got water going into the bottom of the motorhome. They told me not to use the shower, so I didn't. They ordered a new shower base. It took weeks to get it in. They installed a new shower base, and all is well. The major item, the biggest thing, was when I purchased it, there were some small red dots on the floor. uh, it didn't bother me because there was only a few of them. And honestly, I thought I could clean them up. And well, I couldn't clean them up. When summer came, these red dots metastasized. There was like dozens of them everywhere, and they were getting bigger. And I called the dealer that sold it to me, and they came out. The service director and the service writer that's helping me, they came out and looked at it. And I honestly thought it was mold because I did research on the internet, and everything pointed to mold uh, because these things were getting more of them and they were getting a lot bigger. No, they shook their head. No, it's not mold. We don't know what it is, but it's not mold. Uh, so they ordered a floor. Took again weeks to get it in. They put the new floor in. Again, I'm without the motorhome, and I'm part-time full. At that time, I was part-time full-time. I was living in the motorhome, and then I'd live with my sister because she had the room. They called me and said, the floor's in, come and take a look at it. I came and took a look at it, and the floor was in cockeyed, offset. In other words, it's a wood vinyl floor. It didn't run straight front to rear, and they knew that, and they told me they knew that, and they said, okay, well, we'll put another floor in it. So they did. They put another floor. Let me back up a little bit. They said, well, okay, we're gonna order a new floor, and the next day they called me and said, okay, the replacement floor is in. And my question was, well, how did you get a floor so quick? The first one took, weeks to get. The second one you got in 2 days. They found a new floor upstairs, is what they said. That floor, I went on a fishing trip, and that floor started to buckle. It had waves in it. Not everywhere, mostly underneath the couch, if you will. I have a recliner couch there, and it had buckled. So I took it I took it back again. Now I'm without it again, and they fixed it. But when they fixed it, they put an adhesive underneath it, and the adhesive is up against the cabinets. It's really a cheesy repair. I don't know if I can live with it or not. I'm going to have the service director look at it. So that ends the floor. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. The windshield wipers on my very first trip, the windshield wipers failed. It was raining, it was snowing, and I needed the windshield wipers. So when I got to my destination, I called Jayco, and Jayco said, well, there's a recall for that problem, and it has not been done on your motorhome, and they should not have sold it to you with the wipers, that wiper recall not being done. So I made a U-turn on my trip. I needed the wipers, and not just the wipers. There's a list of other things that I found. They said they fixed the wipers, that the recall had been done, is what they told me. The recall was done. We found another issue. So off again I go, and it's raining again, and the wipers wouldn't work at all this time. They wouldn't, nothing. So back to the dealer I go with the wipers, and they insisted that the recall had been done, and that they have 3 stores here in Las Vegas. Another store had done the wiper repair recall, and they just didn't bill Jayco. And that's why Jayco didn't think the recall had been done. It wasn't billed. They said they fixed it this time. There was a loose connection in the fuse box. I haven't used the wipers since because there's no rain. A major drivability issue when I drive it on the freeway, trucks passing me or motorhomes passing me, and either direction, front to rear, it didn't make any difference. The air pushed off of those vehicles would literally push me off the road. Very dangerous. So I called. Well, I went to my destination. I called the service director, and he said, "Well, we can reset the sway bars. Maybe you can do it." I said, "No, I'm in my late 70s. I can't do this. Or I'm in my mid 70s, actually. I can't do this." So I made another U-turn. Back to the dealer it goes. They reset the sway bar to a tighter position. It has 2 positions, and they asked me to drive it. I did. That helped. It really helped. But I asked them, it's got a rear sway bar. Why don't we do the rear too? And so they did that. I drove it. It does help. But this created another problem. Now when I drive it, it goes, I have to continually drive it, constantly moving the steering wheel to keep it going down the road. I did a lot of research on this. And they told me, I did a lot of research on it, and everybody that had this problem said put a steering stabilizer on it. Pretty pricey. They're like $500 plus the labor. I took it back to the dealer again, and with another list of many other issues, and the dealer said, "No, you don't need a sway bar. You need a wheel alignment. Why don't you take it over and have a wheel alignment done?" And I'm going, what the heck? It's a brand new motorhome. You sold it to me, and now you want me to pay $200 or $250 to have the wheels aligned. That's not right. It's not right at all. So I went. A good friend of mine owns a major truck repair facility, and they do wheel alignments there. I went and talked to them about it, and they says, no, it's not the alignment. Here's the problem. The problem is you put 80 gallons of gas in the back, you put 50 gallons of water in the back. The RV, now it sags in the rear, and it takes the load off of the front wheels. So that's the reason why you're driving it. You just, so what you need to have done is you need to put airbags or a way to lift the rear up when it's loaded with water and fuel. And my niece's motorhome has those airbags on it. Again, a lot of research. I agreed that, I'll pay for the airbags. Well, they don't make them. They don't make airbags for this model. The issue continues. Right now, I'm at an RV park in my hometown, and I'm waiting for parts to come in. Again, more parts. That's the short version of a long story. So when I bought the motorhome, I told them, and they know I'm retired, and I do a lot of fishing. That's what I do. I love it. I told them I needed the motorhome has to have a Arctic package because I'm in cold weather. Sometimes weather that is 20, 25 degrees. So he said, well, the salesman said, and the salesman is the grandson of the owner of the business. He said, come here, let me show you this. So my niece was there with me. We went inside the motorhome. He takes me to the monitor panel and he says, you push this button. It has tank heaters. It has heaters that heat all the water lines and the water pump. I go, wow, that is great. This is what I need. This will be perfect. But I wanted to confirm what he told me. So I went on the internet and I pulled up the owner's manual for this model. And it said, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, water line or drain line heaters operate on a 12-volt DC. These heaters will prevent the water in the tanks and lines from freezing to a minus 11 degrees. This is perfect for me. I mean, I never get in minus 11, but I do get in the 20s. This is perfect. So my first trip in the cold, I have my friend and his son with him. We're in Utah. The first night, we knew that it was going to get below freezing. I flipped on the tank heater switch, thinking that no problem. But the next morning, we wake up to frozen water. We have no water because the pump is froze, the lines are froze, and I took a look underneath, and I could see ice. Not a lot of ice, but slushy in the water tank. And I go, what the heck? So I take it back to after we spent a few days there, I took it back to the dealer again, and they diagnosed the problem as being the heater pads are not working. So I go, what about the water lines and the pump and all that? It froze, and it says the water lines and the pump are insulated against the the cold. He says, well, no, that's not accurate. The water lines and the pump are not insulated. And I said, well, here it is in the owner's manual. And this is what they told me when I bought it. Nope, it's not. So I called. I got pretty mad about this. So I called the salesman that sold it to me. Again, it's the grandson of the owner. And he says, you know what? Let me find out about it. Let me research it and I'll call you back. So later that day, he calls me back and says that no, the lines and the pump are not insulated. The manufacturer, Jayco, said they have the right to change it. And they changed it. So I called Jayco. Jayco's, and we talked for a long time. He said the conversation was recorded, and I asked him for a transcribed copy of the recording. I think I'm entitled to that. He said that he would talk to his boss and get back to me. Well, he didn't. He said, no, the lines and the pump are not insulated, and they never have been, and they never will be. I said, well, you know what? It's in my owner's manual. The dealer told me, and right now I'm looking at a 2020 Jayco Alante, just like mine, the owner's manual, and the verbiage is identical to what's in mine. So what the heck? At that point, I got really mad, and I asked an attorney to this attorney offers a free review. I asked him to review my complaints, and they haven't got back to me yet, but they will. Those are the major ones. There's there's like 30 or 40 more little things. Like one time I was dry camping, and a mouse run across my floor. I go, what the heck? How did that mouse get in here? And my little dog went after it, and it got out, and I was able to trap it the next night because he come back for more. So I trapped him, and a couple of days later we left where we were. It just goes on and on and on. I can't. It's been a burden to me. It's consumed my life, and quite frankly, I'm just about done with Jayco. I hope that I can get. I know you guys are helping me. I hope that I can get some serious help. The other part that's on order is the water tank heat pads. They're going to replace the heat pads under warranty, but they're not going to insulate the water pump or the lines. And my argument is, what the heck? Why insulate the tanks if the water pump and lines are the issue? It's no, Jayco's not going to pay for it. And I called Jayco, like I said, and he said, absolutely not. We will not warranty that. We don't insulate the lines. We don't insulate the pump. And I argued with him about it because it's in the manual. And like I said, they have the right to change the verbiage in the manual or any accessories on the motorhome. It's their right. Personally, I don't think they can do it after I bought the motorhome. And this is one of the issues that I've asked a law firm to look into. So what I did is I talked to the service director. I know the service director personally. I've known him his whole life, and a very nice guy. He's got a big job because they got 3 locations. I asked him, and my service writer was there. I asked him, have you ever had to buy back an RV because it was a lemon? And he said, no, never. I find that hard to believe. He said, but what has happened with Jayco, with another customer, with not a motorhome, a 5th wheel trailer, that the customer just constantly upset about the RV. The Jayco agreed to swap trailers. We're going to give you a brand new one for your old one. And that made sense to me. But here's the deal. You don't get a warranty with the new one at all. No warranty. Get a brand new trailer, but it comes with no warranty. What the heck? Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to get another Jayco motorhome and not have a warranty. So I told the attorney asked me the same question that you asked me, and I told him just buy it back, just take it back, and I'm going to go somewhere else. But we haven't got to that point, and I don't even know if the attorney is going to be able to help me or not. So yeah, I haven't retained the attorney. The attorney offers a free review, if you will, of all your stuff. And they are in the process of doing that, but they said, we're going to put this on hold until you take it back to the dealer again to have these other items addressed. So I want to tell you another little story. I wasn't convinced that I wanted this motorhome. I thought I would go with a Thor Ace. Thor is the Thor owns Jayco, and the dealer I'm dealing with doesn't sell Thor, but Camping World does. and I really like the Thor. So we talked about that, the service director and the salesperson, the owner's grandson. And the service director told me, he says, look, Chris, if you buy a Thor, you're going to see me 10 times. Bring it in at least 10 times with a bunch of issues. If you buy the Jayco, you're going to see me 3 times. I've been there 5 times already, and it still has to go back. So I don't know. I'm just I'm at the end of my rope. I have made the decision that I am truly going to make a big deal out of this. I'm retired. I got nothing to do. I go fishing. I go to the casino and play Keno. I'm going to really put a big effort into this. Hopefully with your help and the help, possibly with the help of an attorney.